Honoring their rich history of women, children, and other innocent Americans, the FBI decided to shoot and kill this 74-year-old, 300-pound handicapped man in his Provo, Utah home for, wait for it, social media posts. Everybody and their brother's talking about the FBI today. Apparently, they've been busy monitoring social media accounts. And one of the accounts they were monitoring belonged to a guy named Craig Robertson, a 74-year-old Air Force Vietnam veteran. Wednesday morning, FBI agents descended upon a Provo, Utah subdivision to show Americans that you can't just post anything you want on the internet and expect to get away with it, especially if it looks anything close to being anti-government, which in reality is anti-slavery, anti-theft, anti-terrorist activities, and anti-violence. The FBI says that the shooting occurred while they were serving a warrant. Hey, aren't you kind of curious to know how the FBI would serve a warrant in your neighborhood sometime in the near future for posting things on social media? Here's how they serve that warrant in Craig's neighborhood. In a statement, the FBI said, "The incident began when special agents attempted to serve arrest and search warrants at a residence. The subject is deceased. The FBI takes all shooting incidents involving our agents or task force members seriously."
We'll begin with our team coverage tonight in that shooting in Provo, where we're learning more about the man who was killed in reactions from his neighbors.
News Specialist Andrew Adams joining us live right now from the scene with the very latest. Andrew?
Well, the emotions have really been all over the place for neighbors, but generally within the range of disturbed. They can't believe that this happened up in this cul-de-sac. Now I'm going to step out and push in, show you what we're looking at, which is basically agents still working around that trailer and trucks. You also see that window over there that looks like it's been pushed in, broken. I mean, that's the most obvious sign, at least here from the police line, that something bad happened here. Now, witnesses say this all began setting up last night when upwards of 20 unmarked law enforcement vehicles collected in the church parking lot here across the street. Fast forward to this morning, and neighbors say things really started getting wild after 6 a.m. At that point, one woman told us she heard 3 explosions and then yelling, and then she said she heard 7 shots. As we all know now, one man ended up dead.
Really scary. Really. I'm like, what the heck? We were thinking that he has something going on inside his house, you know, because all these people here, but we don't know.
Neighbors say they're slowly getting details from news coverage. They tell us the man that lived here was very clearly and obviously to them anti-government, but also we had people tell us that he was extremely kind to them. They're just struggling to come to terms with what happened here. Obviously a very violent and deadly ending.
Now, at this point, you might be wondering, because this is exactly what they want Americans thinking about during the propaganda phase of this psychological operation. You might be thinking, what will the FBI do to me if I start posting things that they don't like? Well, here's a hint.
FBI, open up!
Now, everything we know about this story has been filtered through government sources and then whitewashed and packaged by fake stream media. So nothing they say can be trusted. But it all looks very fishy and seems like yet another attack on those who hate censorship, question their government, own firearms, and have a more conservative ideology. The powers that shouldn't be are always out to make their target an example for others. If you do what Craig did, if you say what he said, if you own what he owns and think unapproved thoughts that we don't want you thinking or expressing, we're coming after you and your family next. Get with the program, buddy. or our agents will visit you next. If you're a critical thinker, you're probably wondering, well, what are these supposed posts that Craig put up that got him in such hot water with the FBI? Let's take a look.
Robertson's social media accounts have been taken down, but not before the KSL investigators analyzed nearly a year's worth of posts leading up to this week's presidential visit.
KSL investigator Daniela Rivera continues her team coverage on what we have learned about Robertson from what he has been posting online. Daniela?
Well, according to the federal warrant for his arrest, Robertson first appeared on the FBI's radar in March for a social media post on what appears to be Truth Social, threatening the life of the New York County District Attorney who was overseeing a criminal investigation into former President Donald Trump. As Shelby mentioned, agents spoke with him at his home in Provo, but since then, his online threats seem to have only escalated.
A post on Craig Robertson's Facebook account from 3 days ago reads, "I hear Biden is coming to Utah, digging out my old ghillie suit and cleaning the dust off the M24 sniper rifle. Welcome, buffoon in chief." It's one of dozens invoking violent fantasies found in the 75-year-old Provo man's now deleted digital footprints. In his posts, guns are Democrat eradicators, and he's stockpiling them for the 2024 election cycle. And to the FBI agents who talked to him about online death threats back in March, warnings. Robertson says he's a MAGA Trumper, talks about having a loaded gun handy, and writes, "You have no idea how close your agents came to violent eradication." A federal warrant for Robertson's arrest notes threat after threat and concerns the Provo man has the capability and intentions to carry them out.
But it's almost like he wants a confrontation with the FBI.
Carl Schmay is a former FBI agent who specializes in extremism. He says the FBI cannot investigate someone over ideology or their beliefs.
Look, this guy is espousing the fact that he's calling himself a MAGA Trumper, come after me. But the reason the FBI investigated him is because he was making threats that were violations of federal law, not because of his political beliefs.
He says agents focus on behavior, intent, and whether someone has the means to act on their words.
This is what kept me up at night when I was a supervisor, is we're looking for that needle in the haystack, who's a keyboard commando, and who's the guy that is actually going to pick up his gun, go out, and commit violence.
The FBI isn't offering many details right now about what exactly happened when they tried to arrest Robertson, but Schmay tells us this appears to have been a typical case and standard procedures. He said SWAT teams don't want violence, and that's evident in the timing of their attempted arrest early in the morning. He said they likely wanted the element of surprise and to take him into custody without a fight.
Taking a look at the post they say Robertson wrote, I would say, since we know the NSA and other agencies are constantly spying on our internet activity, it's probably not advisable to post something you know might invite an early morning visit from your friendly neighborhood domestic terrorists. And adding to that, we really don't know if Robertson actually wrote these posts. We don't know if the FBI did it. We don't even know if Robertson was working with the FBI to set this whole media storm in motion. All we know is that the FBI, the ATF, the DEA, TSA, and all the other alphabet soup agencies have been wreaking havoc on the liberties and wealth of Americans for decades. If they didn't care about the kids and innocent adults at Waco, if they didn't care about Randy Weaver's family at Ruby Ridge, if they continue to lie to us so they can back us further into a totalitarian corner, what makes anybody think they care about you and your family? Leave your thoughts about this in the comment section below. If you live in Provo, did you know Craig Robertson? What do you think's really going on here? Because the cover story is rarely the true story. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. And don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel, the links are in the description. Become a channel member, grab a hard-hitting conversation starting design you can put on a shirt, hoodie, mug, hat, cell phone case, pillowcase, whatever you want. Remember, freedom is dangerous. The only thing more dangerous is not having it. I'll see you in the next video.